You do run into this all the time, and how you handle those moments is going to tell you how far up that ladder you're going to get. The 1% says no to all those great opportunities there. It's not saying it's not a great opportunity. It's just not the right time. It's going to take away from what you say your actual goal is. All right, my friends, the Ultimate OD Podcast. Today we are talking about what you want versus what you need. What are the decisions that you're making on a daily basis, on a monthly basis? Are they getting you towards the things you say you want, or are they getting you off the beaten path? Are you following the next shiny object, or do you have a plan for where you want to be? Let's look at where you were at the beginning of the year, where are you going to be at the end of the year? What decisions have you made? What have you said yes to, and what have you said no to? Let me explain how the yeses and nos will define whether or not you have an actual strategy or if you're just flying by the seat of your pants. This is the Ultimate OD Podcast. Here we go. All right, my friends, the Ultimate OD Podcast. A lot of fun things happening in my life right now. Number one, I am coaching football. Yes, 7th and 8th grade football. I don't know why I got involved in it, but I'm having fun. It's a little outside my comfort zone because I'm still trying to grow the business, and that takes effort and energy. The thing I like about this is when I know that from 5 to 7 I have that practice, so I got to leave at 4:30, I have got to be dialed in. I do not have time to mess around. Have a goal, have a plan, and have no time. That's how you get things done, right? I have a plan, no time, let's make it happen. Other thing I like about coaching football, I am not the head coach, nor do I want to be the head coach. It's really good to be involved in something, a program, an event that you are not the sole leader of. I like contributing and putting in my effort and energy, but not having it all fall on me. You and I know what it takes to run a practice, to be a good doctor in general. Constant eternal vigilance. As Martin Carroll, Cheyenne Vision Clinic would always tell me, eternal vigilance. Keep getting better every single day. Right? That's my commitment to me. That's my commitment to you. That's why I have the podcast. I want to keep bringing it for you. Right? So coaching football. Really intrigued with the world of aesthetics right now. I do not want to deal with needles now, right? I honestly, I think in 3 years, I'm going to have some form of needle in my office. I don't know why. That's just bold prediction for myself, right? I just think that is going to happen. However, I'm going to a thing for N-Mode, the N-Mode Expo for their stuff. Really big event in the next few weekends in Chicago. Love that. I have told you, I got the Tixel device. Love this thing. This is what I think is the easiest, best gateway into aesthetics if you want to treat, or if you want to bring that into your practice. Quick, easy treatment for dry eye, thermomechanical action. So it's kind of taking heat with a little bit of pressure and get those meibomian glands to function. 2-minute treatment, really easy and effective. I'll give you more feedback as I get more patients, but from the aesthetic standpoint, game changer. Look at my Instagram feed for Rejuvenation Dry Eye Center. Treated my wife. Look at her before and afters. We're going to have in the next month a lot more full face treatments that we're doing. We did a soft opening. We're building that. Great company to work with. If you have questions about Tixel, hit me up. I'll give you information and contact you with them. But really cool device. I have an IPL. I like what that does. I'm trying to expand my capabilities with that. I'm to the point where I want to have everything. When you have every single treatment, I don't think you're selling treatments. Now you can sell a plan for the patient. You aren't limited by what you have access to. You're going to do what you think is best in their situation, right? A lot of people have an IPL. IPL is going to fix every problem. You have a Tixel. Tixel is going to fix every problem. You have RF. RF is going to fix every problem. Same concept. If I have RF, Tixel, and IPL, what is best for their situation? How do I get them to their endpoint meeting them where they're at. I really enjoy that. Okay, so that's exciting. Ocular surface disease, September 5th in Minneapolis. They have a conference. I'll be going to that. Also very excited. Uh, best of the best of dry eye. I want to be with those people. I want to see what they're doing, how they're treating patients. How can I be better? Okay. So let's get that's just a little feedback on where I'm at in life right now. Exciting times talking to doctors. I have some other opportunities to make your present better. You need to make your future bigger. Ooh, intriguing. That goes back to what we talked about last week. You need to raise your standards if you want to get better. We all have the same commitment. We have different standards. If you want to make your present better, make your future bigger. Because you're going to raise your standards, you're going to demand more out of yourself. Okay? Love that. This is my dilemma right now. You cannot do everything. Well, you can do everything. You can't do everything well. I want to be elite. And this goes back to the question, do you need it or you want it? Now, when you live in the world of need, how it's been explained to me is that you live in a world of scarcity, right? There's only so much. You need this. You have to justify, I need this so I can't get this, right? Want is something that you shouldn't have to justify. It's just you want it because you want it, right? It's a world of abundance. I want X, Y, or Z because it's what I want. Wanting something is not bad. Okay? There's times in life, and I talk to my wife as we have 4 kids, the practice, we're expanding, growing. There's things that we need, and there's things that we want. We want an addition for the house, right? We don't need addition for the house. With the way finances go and growing, that is a scarcity thing. When you're looking at your vision for where you want to go in life, that should be a want-based decision. Okay? Yeah, there's certain needs, but you should approach it from a want-based decision. And that's where I'm at right now. I talked a lot about wanting to do 10 million in 10 years. Okay? That is really, it's just a number. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I was mowing the lawn, listening to that, and they're like, "What's the big thing? What?" And that, I don't know why it popped in my head. I've been telling people about that would listen for the past, 2-3 years. So it's kind of been something that's kind of there. And when I tell people that, like, now I'm accountable. I have to make this happen. Okay? So that has raised my standard a little bit, right? Thinking bigger raised my standard. But as I grow and expand and know that you can only do so many things, one of the lessons I've taken is that you have to focus in what do you want out of life. And this is the dilemma that I'm in right now. Found a practice that I think I could buy. It's very reasonable, affordable, right? They have OCT, lanes, everything. It's traditional optometry, right? That's what I've built. That's what I have right now is essentially traditional optometry. I feel I know it pretty well. My heart is not in that. I do not like going in every day and doing just straight old refractions and selling contacts, selling glasses, having to look at that spreadsheet. Hey, did we sell glasses today? No, we didn't sell glasses today. I mean, I love the business of optometry. Don't get me wrong. That's not. I mean, it's not going anywhere. But there's that what I want to be known as. No, I hate fighting over commodities. Like, what's the difference between my contacts and them and the contacts and 1-800 contacts? Well, honestly, you and I both know same contacts. They're both Acuvue Oasis, Biofinity, Energys, Dailies Total One. They're really the same manufacturer, right? But we give a better service. We give a better experience. Yes, that's what I do like to do. But it sucks when they are evaluating me based on that, right? I hate managed care telling me that my time for refraction is worth X, Y, or Z, like $40. Think a little more, worth more than that, right? So there's not a huge want for that. I think I've done well at running the practice I have. I think I can run another practice. That's not a question, right? But what did I say earlier? Strategy is knowing what to say no to. What gets me jacked up and energized is RDEC, Rejuvenation Dry Eye Center. I love what I'm doing right there. I want to be the elite. Everyone's referring people to me. They know me as an expert. I like going to like ocular surfaces and like say I'm on a panel there and talking. Like I want to be known. That juices me up. I have a lot of self enjoyment, fulfillment in that. It's running a great business, doing something that I think has very much value, that gives me a little bit more value for the knowledge base that I have. Not everyone can do that. And when we talked about last week about the middle 50% where you're just fighting over the little bit here or there, when I see what rejuvenation is, that top 1%. Not everyone does that. Not everyone has all the equipment that I have. That literally will just read about this stuff because it's enjoyable, right? Throw in some of that aesthetic stuff that I like reading about with skincare. Like, man, that's fun. That gets me juiced up. That's what I'm doing in my free time. And then you see a practice that you could buy. You're like, is that strategy? Do I say no to that? It's really hard no to say to because that's part of the 10 million in 10 years, right? What do you want? I want this. I'd rather have this RDEC, move it, be its own place, and have people come refer to me and just not even do a refraction again the rest of my life. Great. But then am I sacrificing that? Like it's that's the dilemma, right? You're gonna run into this all the time. You do run into this all the time. And how you handle those moments is gonna tell you how far up that ladder you're gonna get. The 1% says no to all those great opportunities there. It's not saying it's not a great opportunity. It's just not the right time. It's going to take away from what you say your actual goal is. And that's what I'm kind of thinking about. And then you justify it. I'm like, oh, great opportunity. You have to take it. It's a no-brainer. You have to take care of it. And if that does well, it's going to maybe set you back a year, but then you'll have more resources in a better area to do what you want to do with the RDEC. Or do you fall in the trap and you just find another practice? Well, this is another no-brainer. You go there. Like, are you doing what you feel you need to do, or are you doing what you want to do? What do you actually want? And that's a really tough question. Because what you want might not be the most profitable business-wise. What you want may not be what the world or your colleagues or your peers see as like awesome, right? And that's what I'm saying. I think I look at the doctors that have multiple practices, multiple doctors working for them. How do you do it? That's awesome. You're not seeing in the clinic that often. You're just running the business. That sounds great. Like I love going to conferences and having the free, open mind of just thinking about it. Hey, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to build this business this way. We're going to market this. Let's start selling this. Hey, doctors, we're having a meeting. These are the key points I want you hitting. Let's go. Get out there and do it. Because I see myself, if I do multiple practices, I invariably, to do that well, to do it the way I want to do, have to pull back from the dry aspect. I might have to pull out of patient care eventually to oversee and do that. Yeah, you can hire someone to do it or oversee that, but that's hard. And if I have all those, I kind of want to do that. Or do I want to be that doctor that's viewed as that specialist expert that everyone's referring to, that I'm lecturing. Think about it, I see patients 3 days a week, see my cases, and then Thursday and Friday, working on my business. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm traveling, talking, going to conferences. Oh, well, that's kind of fun too. What do you really want? I say this because it's my situation that I'm looking at, but I guarantee you have things like that coming up in your life. Whether it's outside of the business, like you have a business opportunity, you have a side hustle that you want to kind of make the main hustle, right? You have opportunities in the business where you can grow and expand. Do you do that? Do you buy the space next to you because you see the ability to grow and build into it? There's a spot next to me that was for sale, about 1,000 more square feet, and I'm already seeing myself like outgrow where I'm at. I really think I'm going to be there in about a year. Give yourself a bigger fishbowl, you grow to the size of that fishbowl, which is awesome. And part of me was like, I should have just bought that. But another part of me was like, that's small thinking. That's just making what you have. That's redefining, growing 2% versus that 10 times growth, that huge, huge exponential growth. Like, forget that. This will here, it can continue to do what it does. Let's build a big office downtown, Grand Rapids, right? Go big. That's the bold move. You don't need to deploy capital over there. That's holding you up from the big breakthrough, right? Take a step back and look at all the opportunities you have and that you're justifying that, well, it's too good of an opportunity to say no to. Well, what's your strategy to get to where you say you want to be? Your actions will tell you what you actually want. What are you buying? What are you doing? Are you just chasing like the next fad? When I bought my IPL, I'm like, I'm going to buy this. I'm going to use it. Nature of the beast. It's a big jump, but I believe in it, did it. A lot of other doctors bought IPLs. A lot of IPLs are not being used. Right? Why? Because either they don't believe in it or they heard the rep telling them, you can make this much per patient. Get paid what you're worth. It'll pay itself off in a year if you use it. Now, AOA in Minneapolis this year, I went there and so many IPLs, so many low-level light therapies. Everything is out there. RFs from everywhere. DSMT from Luminous, the lid lift thing. There's things everywhere. Because they saw people uptake it. Well, if you say yes to all these things, what are you chasing? Are you really building a dry eye center? Or are you just, this is the next thing, I'm going to do this thing instead? IPL was, good. It's had its season. Now I want this. No, not the answer. Bringing new frame lines. You're trying to get to be a boutique, or you want a frame line for everyone, right? But no one's buying. Maybe if you just go high end, that sets you apart. People that want high end stuff will come to you. You go value. You just want a pair of glasses that will get you through there. Then you compete on price. Horrible idea, right? Never going to beat the Warby Parkers or, corporate chains. What do you want? What value do you see in the work that you do? What gives you juice? And that's a really big question that I go back to. What is your vision for your life? Where do you want to be in 10 years? When I talk to doctors that I'm considering hiring, I ask them, what's your vision for your life in 10 years? What happened with this if we were to work together that made you say this was a raving success, right? You have to know where you're going. You have to know what you're going to say no to. And sometimes that's really stinking hard. And in this position that I'm in right now, I say yes to one. I wasn't as passionate as I thought about the other, right? Or I say yes to this. Then am I really just playing it safe and not trying to be the best I can? Do I want to pull back from patient care? Or do I want to do what makes me happy? What I want, actually, is at this. Big questions. It can change. But I know each and every one of us has these things. And I don't think until recently, probably the past year, have I thought of it in that term, in those terms. What am I saying yes to, or what am I actually saying no to? You say yes to something, there's something else that's getting put on the back burner, right? Your strategy is what you're saying no to. Take a look at your past 6 months or this year, 2025. What have you said yes to and what have you said no to? Write them down. Go month by month. Look at what your direction is. I know you had goals at the beginning of the year. Did you say yes to everything that was getting you more in line with those goals? Or do you say yes to some things that don't line up and have gotten you off the beaten path? You're not going to get where you thought you were going to be at the end of the year, but you're in a better place because this is now the thing that you want. That sounds like you don't really have a strategy. You're just kind of going flying by the seat of your pants. right? Just some things to think about. I'll have more for you next week. Where, oh where has time gone? We're to the closing thought of the episode, and I will leave you with this. I had a couple of tough conversations over the past few months. A couple of people have sat down and said, hey, this is the deal. I need you to take the weekend to think about it. And if it's not going to work out, let me know and we're going to move on. Or if you're going to stay and do this, this is the standard that we live by. Some worked out, some haven't, but it's been awesome to have those conversations. It goes back to my core values that I have and I've set, and I honestly am trying to operate by them. But in one of those conversations, it was me and my office manager, and we were talking to a staff member, and I had some issues. And I'm like, these are the things that we need to get out on the table. Why is this happening? What is making you respond this way? And honestly, something that happened like months ago was still hanging over. And this is why I say you need to have these conversations. You need to have those tough talks, because the scenario was a staff member gave her 2 weeks. She worked a week, and then next week, the week she worked, she was telling all the patients, yeah, I'm leaving. I'm going somewhere else. I'm doing this. Wasn't the best way to go. And I'm like, and I don't want people in my office that don't want to be there. I'm trying to build a culture. Didn't like it. So found out about some of the things. And then Saturday, like, I just texted her, hey, really appreciate all you did. We're not going to need you next week. I paid her for the week she didn't work. Right? Came in and she had some friends there. Whatever. I'm like, hey, gone, go from there. Well, in the conversation, the person was, the way you ran that staff member off. I said, it was a good conversation, but I was like, are you serious? Ran them off, they'd resigned. Yeah, but you didn't let her work that second week. Yeah. What do you want me to do? Have her come in Monday and then let her go in front of everyone? Like, make her do that? Like, I thought that would be worse. And there's a little bit of perspective, like, oh, I didn't think about it this way. People create a story in their head, and if you don't address it directly, it festers and lingers. So there's things that are going on that people are reacting to because you did something in the past and you didn't explain it, you didn't put it out there, and now they have their own version of it, and it's never good, right? So address those things. But in that conversation, one of the ways that you could see body language change where we really actually, I felt like there was a connection. We'll see what happens. I'm too early in it to tell you if it's going to work out. But I'm like, why are you doing this? And then she's like, well, you made this assumption about me and didn't even ask me about it. And I looked at her face. I said, you're absolutely right. I'll own that. I did that. It's because of X, Y, and Z. But you're right. I didn't give you a chance to do that. She's like, oh. You could see her kind of like, you're admitting this is this is a two-way conversation. You can call me out too. It's healthy and productive. As again, we're not yelling or whatnot, but this is why I'm feeling. This is the issue that I'm having. Why are we having the issues? Well, when you actually tell me what's going on, I'll own that. You can see my perspective. I can see your perspective. Let's see where we need to be. So I do not look forward to those conversations. If you ask my wife, I can know, she knows when even if I don't tell her, because I don't really talk about those things. I don't like to bring that home. But I usually get up at about 3, 4 o'clock, and then I'm just messing around, making messages or whatnot. Nights you don't sleep as well because you have to have that conversation. But I will tell you, every single time, have the conversation. You're better for it. On the other side is the result you're looking for. It might be with them, it might not be, but have the conversations and own it when you're at fault. Like, if I would have ran that person off, I did not, and she called me out on that, I would have owned it. I would have said, yeah, you're right, I did. This is because I did it because of this. Maybe not justifying it, but this is why I did it, right? Like, at least get my perspective. I didn't do that, just for the record. I know you were curious. But in the situation where I made a decision about what I thought she could do, I didn't ask her. I just assumed based on all the other history I had. And again, that's just as bad on me. Horse's mouth. Let's talk to each other. Let's talk it out. But have those difficult conversations. Your office will be better for it. That's what I have. Dr. Lily out.